Okay, here's more from Jordan Love on what to expect from the Philadelphia defense when they get together in Brazil on Friday night.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. Week one always is, and then you add on top of that new defense coordinator. So, we're watching a lot of film from where they came from, the Dolphins, and a lot of different stuff where, you got to remember, we're not playing some of the DBs that we might be watching on film, some of the guys and the Dolphins, things like that. So it's definitely tough. And then you add that part where you just don't know what they're going to do this year, if they might be, doing some new things defensively that we haven't seen in the past. So a lot of unknowns. So, you kind of just got to trust the rules of the game plan and kind of go out there, take that opening drive to get a feel. Like, we don't even know who might be out there, DB-wise, front seven. So just taking that opening drive to get a feel for what their, blitz flavor of the days might be and kind of how they're trying to play us.
I think Dolphins film from last year far more relevant than Eagles film. I can't imagine the Eagles wanting to replicate anything they did on defense last year. Last year was a disaster. Vic Fangio comes up from Miami. I would be looking at every team Fangio has coached, that Fangio defense, the Fangio tree, and try to plan for it that way. Now, look, at a certain point, you just go out and run your plays. And, you're going to anticipate or at least try to what a defense is going to do. But if you've got talented players, they've got to deal with you. They've got to figure out what you're going to do. They just can't show up with their formula and expect it to work. But I think it makes sense. Let's see what Fangio's done in the past, and that's the basis for figuring out what to expect when we see the Eagles defense, new-look Eagles defense in 2024.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that you would go back to Matt LaFleur's time with, potentially the Titans if they play the Broncos then, right? Or if, they played Broncos, Packers since he's been there. Like, that, to me, would be much more relevant in terms of the type of defensive scheme that you're going up against. And that it's just a tough task, if you're Matt LaFleur, to try and put together a good script for what you're going against an Eagles defense. And some of the dudes that are there and probably what they do well and all that. But it's going to be a totally different scheme than what the Eagles were playing last year. And, you'd like to think it's going to be one that's less ineffective, and like that's about the nicest thing you could say about the Eagles defense down the stretch last year is that they were ineffective. Like that unit
less
was
ineffective. Yes, the ineffective. That's the kindest word you could come up with, or anyone could come up with to explain the Eagles on both sides of the ball down the stretch last year. I mean, that's one of the great mysteries heading into 2024. What the hell happened last year? And it's not like we're going to forget about it, especially if the Eagles struggle out of the gates in 2024.
Okay, you have a chance to win $1 million in the NBC sweepstakes on Yahoo Fantasy. Just download the redesigned Yahoo Fantasy app or go to NBCSports.com/fantasymillion for additional details. What are you waiting for?
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.